Hello and welcome to Red Hat Test Drive for PLUMgrid Open Networking Suite. This video will walk you through the process of logging into Openstack and PLUMgrid UI. It will also take you through the process of creating multiple networks and connecting them to a router. Please refer to the email that you received as a part of the sign-up process. It will contain all the relevant credentials and login information that you will need to complete this exercise. Now let's start by logging into the Openstack UI. Launch your browser and enter the following IP address, which is 10.20.0.252. You are now on the Openstack login screen. The username here is admin and the password is PLUMgrid. Once we log in, you will see an overview of the resources we have in this Openstack deployment. Let's start by creating a test tenant for this exercise. Click on Identity on the top and create a project. Let's call it Lab Test 1. Now move on to the Users tab and create a test user by filling in the username and the password fields. In this case, the username is testuser1 and the password is PLUMgrid. Choose Lab Test as the project for this user. We have now created a test user. Now let's sign out from the admin account and sign back in as the test user we just created. Username and password are the ones we set up while creating this user. Therefore, the username is testuser1 and the password is PLUMgrid. Now let's start by creating a network by selecting the Network tab and clicking on Networks. Then click on the Create Network button. Let's call this network Web1 and assign it an IP of 192.168.1.0/24. You can now see that the network is active. Now let's log in to PLUMgrid UI by entering https 10.20.0.250. Log in by entering PLUMgrid as the username and PLUMgrid as the password. Move to the virtual domain view. You will see the web network we created in Openstack is also present in the PLUMgrid UI. Now let's go back to the Openstack UI and create two more networks by using a similar process that we used to create the web network. You can see that we now have a total of 3 networks: Web, App, and DB. Click on the Network Topology button to view these networks. Now let's go back to the PLUMgrid UI. You can now see that we have all 3 networks present here. To create a router, we need to go back to the Openstack UI. Click on the Router button. Create a new router by defining the router name. Click on the router that we just created. Add interfaces for the router by clicking on the Add Interface button. From the drop-down menu, select one of the networks we created earlier. Repeat the process for all 3 networks. Click on the Network Topology button to view connectivity of the networks. You can see that all the networks are now connected through a single router R1. Going back to the PLUMgrid UI shows all networks connected through R1. We can see Web1, App1, and DB1 connected to the router via the router interface. Now go ahead and enjoy your Red Hat test drive for PLUMgrid ONS. Thank you for watching this video.